Now, a rally against Turkey's air raids on Iraq and Syria ending in clashes with police in Ankara. They were using water cannons and tear gas to disperse the protesters, making dozens of arrests. Participants condemned the government's decision to bomb both Kurdish militias and positions held by Islamic State. The Kurdish forces now say Turkey has brought a fragile two-year truce to an end. A small plane has crashed into a suburb of Japan's capital, killing 3 people and setting fire to nearby houses. The 5-seater aircraft fell shortly after takeoff from Tokyo's Chofu airport. The cause of the crash is not yet known, but it has been reported that 5 locals have been hospitalized. Violence has erupted between Palestinian and Israeli police at the Temple Mount, a religious site in Jerusalem. The incidents occurred during prayers marking the Jewish holy day of mourning. The site has been the subject of heightened tensions as it also bears great significance for Muslims. Israel is currently able to restrict entry to the Temple Mount as it maintains security over that area. A new U.S. service has been causing controversy in the headlines this week. The service offers to help people who feel like they're suffering from racial inequality.
Is your skin color holding you back? Are you tired of systemic prejudice ruining your day? White Squad is a team of carefully selected white representatives who act on behalf of people of color, giving you the full benefits of being a white person.
Not everything, though, is quite as it seems. If persistent enough to remain on the phone until the end of the automated message, it becomes clear the service is supposed to be satirical.
Thank you for calling the White Squad hotline. If you need help hailing a cab, press 1. If you need help getting a scholarship, press 2. If you need help renting or buying a house, press 3. If you need help resolving a legal matter, press 4. Thank you for your interest in White Squad. While white privilege is real, White Squad is fiction. This satire was created to illustrate how white privilege works and how it impacts people's lives.
Online, some applauded MTV's method of addressing prejudice and racism. Some felt the service should be real. Others found it all a bit distasteful. We spoke to Richard Spencer, the editor and founder of the online culture journal Radix. He says such satirical experiments actually mask the truth instead of driving the point home.
How do we do it?
I, of course, think humor is great, and I think it can sometimes be a great source of relieving the tension, maybe, or getting at truths. But this White Squad doesn't do any of that. All this kind of stuff is a way of masking the reality of the American society. It's an American society with racial tensions. It's an American society with a tremendous amount of inequality. It's an American society with a tremendous amount of income inequality. So it's not surprising that corporate America, which MTV is just a representation of, would grasp on to these funny little lies like white privilege and so on and so forth.
It's RT International. A group of French MPs visited Crimea this week. It was the first visit by Western officials to the peninsula since it voted to join Russia. And here's why the group decided to take the trip.
We decided to go to Crimea because Crimea has been part of Russia for more than a year now. And this is a really good moment to see what's going on and what the mood of the locals is.
Well, the delegates took to the streets of the port city of Sevastopol, meeting and talking to locals. They also laid flowers at the French Memorial Cemetery, honoring the soldiers there who died fighting the Crimean War. Though the visit was strongly criticized by the French Foreign Ministry, calling it a violation of international law. And Kiev condemned the visit as disrespectful of state sovereignty. The delegation, though, was left somewhat surprised by such negativity.
The reactions to our trip are a bit out of proportion. I'd like to ask, what are some people afraid of what we would see? The majority of people we have met seemed pretty happy to be back in Russia.
Well, Frank Krailman was an international observer during the Crimean referendum. He believes this visit is a sign the Western world is starting to look at the area's reunification with Russia slightly differently.
What is now happening is that the way that the West thinks about let's say, what they call the annexation of the Crimea, which is not, because it's just Russians wanted to be in Russia. So this annexation of the Crimea, as they call it, is it's starting to shift. In the West, they see what's happening now. We are doing the international agenda of the United States. Is the agenda of the United States, which makes us, due to sanctions towards Russia, towards everything, and also these things about Crimea, Odessa, Donetsk, and Luhansk. It's all the same. It's all the international agenda of the United States. And now in Western Europe, they are starting to see that maybe they should take another view on it.
Coming up here on RT International, we continue our report on who is benefiting from the very tough austerity measures being implemented in various parts of Europe.